Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some couples seem completely connected in the bedroom while others quietly struggle even after decades together? Is it experience? Is it stamina? Is it luck? In my 12 years as a urologist, I can tell you something honestly, it is almost never what men think it is. And today, we are going to talk about something that most people either oversimplify or never truly understand. There are specific areas of the female body that are neurologically wired for intense pleasure areas supported by real anatomy and science. But most men are never taught about them properly. Instead, they rely on assumption, guesswork, or outdated advice, and that creates frustration. So if you are here because you genuinely care about connection, confidence, and making your partner feel deeply satisfied, stay with me. Before we begin, I would love to know, where are you watching from today? Drop your city or country in the comments. I read them. And if you value honest, science-backed conversations like this, make sure you like and subscribe. It helps this message reach more men who need it. Now, here is the myth we need to clear up. The big myth. Most men think pleasure is about performance. It is not. It is about understanding. The truth is, female arousal is primarily neurological, meaning it is guided by nerve networks, blood flow patterns, and emotional safety. If you do not understand those systems, you are working blind. When women do not reach climax, it is rarely about attraction. It is usually about stimulation patterns, the right type, the right location, the right timing. And the good news? This is not about extreme techniques. It is about awareness. Today, I am going to walk you through 5 specific hidden spots supported by anatomical research, and we will talk about what is happening biologically, emotionally, and practically. And please remember, this is educational. It is about mutual respect, communication, and connection. Let us start with something most people think they understand but do not. Spot number 5, the mind. I am starting with something that surprises many men. The most powerful arousal organ in a woman's body is the brain. Biologically, arousal begins in the nervous system. When a woman feels emotionally safe, desired, and mentally engaged, her brain releases dopamine and oxytocin. These chemicals increase blood flow to sensitive areas and lower stress signals. Stress blocks pleasure, safety unlocks it. If a woman feels rushed, judged, or disconnected, cortisol rises and cortisol suppresses arousal pathways. Emotionally, this matters because many women associate intimacy with vulnerability. When they feel valued, not pressured, their bodies respond differently. Practically, this means foreplay does not start in the bedroom. It starts with a tone of voice, in eye contact, in attentiveness. A real-life example? One couple I spoke with had been married 28 years. The husband thought the issue was technique. The real issue? He had stopped verbal affirmation. Once emotional communication improved, their intimacy improved almost immediately. So before we even talk about physical areas, understand this. The brain primes the body. Without mental stimulation and emotional safety, physical effort often falls flat. Now that we have addressed the foundation, let us talk about physical sensitivity, starting with a structure many people only partially understand. Spot number 4, the clitoral network. When people hear the word clitoris, they think of a small external area, but biologically that is incomplete. The clitoris is actually an extensive internal structure with thousands of nerve endings extending beneath the surface in a wishbone-shaped formation. This is crucial. The visible portion is only part of the network. The internal branches wrap around areas beneath the labial and vaginal walls. Biologically, during arousal, blood flows into this tissue, similar to what occurs in male erectile tissue. That swelling increases sensitivity significantly. Emotionally, when this area is stimulated properly, without pressure or rushing, it can build powerful, full-body sensations. Practically, what does that mean? Gentle, consistent stimulation is usually more effective than aggressive or rapid movement. Communication is key because sensitivity levels vary widely among women. Here is where many men go wrong. They focus on intensity instead of rhythm. They assume more pressure equals more pleasure. Often, it is the opposite. Slow buildup increases nerve responsiveness. And remember, this is not mechanical, it is mutual. Now, there is another area connected neurologically to the same network that many couples overlook completely. Let us go there next. Spot number 3, the anterior vaginal wall. You may have heard this area discussed in popular media with different names, but scientifically, it refers to a region along the front wall of the vaginal canal that is highly sensitive for some women. Biologically, this area is close to internal clitoral structures and urethral sponge tissue. When stimulated correctly, it can create deeper, more intense sensations than external touch alone. But here is what is important: not every woman responds identically. That is normal. Emotionally, what matters most here is feedback. When partners feel comfortable communicating what feels good and what does not, intimacy becomes collaborative rather than performance-based. Practically, stimulation here is usually about angle and patience, not force. And again, pacing matters. If arousal has not fully developed, meaning blood flow is not sufficient stimulation, here may feel uncomfortable instead of pleasurable. So sequencing is crucial. Which brings us to something rarely discussed but incredibly powerful. Spot number 2, the cervical area deep connection sensitivity. Now, this one is more controversial because sensitivity varies greatly. Some women report significant pleasure from deeper stimulation once fully aroused. Biologically, this may relate to nerve pathways connected to the vagus nerve, which bypasses the spinal cord and directly affects the brain. But here's the key: this area is highly dependent on arousal level and emotional safety. Without preparation and communication, deeper stimulation can cause discomfort. Emotionally, this is where trust matters most. When trust is present, the body relaxes. When the body relaxes, natural lubrication and blood flow increase. Practically, couples should approach deeper intimacy slowly and with open dialogue. Never assume, always check in. Which leads us to the final hidden spot, one that ties everything together. Spot number 1, the entire body connection. Here is the truth most people miss. Female orgasm is rarely isolated to one single point. It is an integrated nervous system response. The neck, inner thighs, lower back, ears, lips, these areas are connected to sensory pathways that enhance total body arousal. Biologically, stimulating multiple erogenous zones increases dopamine and oxytocin levels simultaneously. That creates a cumulative effect, making climax more likely. Emotionally, this communicates attentiveness. It says, I am not just focused on one thing, I am focused on you. Practically, taking time to explore these areas before direct stimulation significantly increases the likelihood of mutual satisfaction. Now, let me give you a simple action plan. Practical plan: prioritize emotional connection before physical intensity. Slow down and build arousal gradually. Communicate continuously. Focus on rhythm and consistency over force. Treat intimacy as shared discovery, not performance. And finally, let me reassure you, if things have not always gone perfectly, that does not mean you have failed. Intimacy is learned. Even in your 50s, 60s, and beyond, your ability to create powerful connections is absolutely intact. Age is not the end of vitality. It is the stage where wisdom makes intimacy better. So if this conversation helped you, comment respect below. Let me know you are committed to growth and connection. Like the video, subscribe for more science-backed guidance. And remember, confidence does not come from ego. It comes from understanding. I will see you in the next video.